Okay, so here we are on the Bentley and we're replacing the rubber gaiter on the rear suspension unit, and this is the one I've taken off, which was an aftermarket part, and it only lasted a year. That part is approximately the right size, but that diameter there was always a bit on the small side, and they are difficult to get over all the protrusions and bits and pieces. They say to warm it up in hot water to do it, but when I did it, I warmed up the rubber with a hot air gun and then used lots and lots of WD-40, and it wasn't easy to do, and these weren't cheap either, but it's pulled off there during 1 year's use. So it was a complete waste of time, but you couldn't buy these. So if you wanted to replace the whole unit, then okay, you could spend your several £100. This one I had to cut off because that diameter was too small to pull off. Not that this would be any use anyway anymore. I think it's just a motorcycle gaiter. So there you are, that's off. The new one from Introcar fitted over easily. I'm hoping that the camera will pick up some of it. To excuse my hand. Yes, it fits in easily, as you can see. No problem there. The clevis link there is all ready to go on. I've used another jack to line it so that the pin will just slide in, as you can see. And that isn't a rubber bush at the bottom, it's actually a bearing surface. So I've cleaned it all up and used molly grease to make sure that it's well packed and will keep the damp out, and there are rubber seals around it. So it's all ready to go back together. That was a piece of cake to fit, so anyone can do that. All I've got to do is push that up to there, lift this top up, put a clamp on, same at the bottom. I don't want to stretch it too far, but you don't want it to sort of squash together when the suspension is well down, so it'll need a bit of a stretch on it. I've got every reason to believe that this will last for years, and I even use the old Shaft Tech clips. You can use these again when you take them off. If you ease that little part there with a flat blade screwdriver very carefully and flatten it out, and then they'll come off, and then when you put it back on, you clip it around as tight as you can get it, and then use a pair of pincers or similar to just nip that up very carefully, because you're not trying to cut anything, you're just trying to nip it up onto the rubber. So there you go. I've even been able to reuse both the clips. Plenty of copper slip round the bolts, and that's why it all came to bits so easily. And there you are, the job will be done in about a quarter of an hour. So anyone that's interested, it's not difficult to do. You might find it a bit tricky getting these nuts and bolts undone, but I just used a lever, a bit of extra leverage on a ring, and it came good. So I don't really think you'll have a problem, and as I say, it's an easy enough job to do. These aren't cheap, but they are extremely well made, and I reckon will last a long time. And how long the other one on the other side will last remains to be seen. But that one, this one lasted, well, just over a year. I reckon this is good for many, many years to come. So I'll start putting it back together, which won't take too long.